Welcome everybody to the last GeekStorm before the end of the year. Ooh. I'm Sean Hilton. This is this guy here. We're coming to you live from the heart of downtown Kokomo at Pepper Whistle, which on this next First Friday we'll be having Red Arrow.
I don't know what that means.
It's some kind of rock band.
A band in here?
Yeah. Right here at Pepper Whistle on the first Friday of January, Red Arrow.
What type of music do they play?
I believe it's classic rock.
Wow.
Probably Skinnerd.
Are they going to be up here?
I don't know. Now, there's many important things to talk about today.
Okay.
A lot of stuff has happened this week, so we're going to get right into it. Let's not screw around.
Okay.
Let's get to the most talked about,
You always
the
do
most
this.
important thing, the most everybody's going to be talking about it.
Right.
So let's hit it.
What?
Toto is going on world tour. The gentleman that taught us all about Africa will be kicking it off in Scotland.
That's great.
Glasgow, I believe.
Glasgow?
And they'll be
Sure,
doing quite a bit of arenas in the European theater.
Quite a few arenas.
Mostly Germany. A lot of Germans want to hear more about Africa.
Well, it's a magical place.
T.O. World Tour. You didn't hear it first, but you did hear it.
If it's the first time they've heard it, they did hear it first.
What do you think? You a Toto fan?
Great, sure. Well, I can't name more than a couple of their songs, but
All right. I'm going to take Africa off the list. What else you got?
that's tough.
Because after that, I'm done. I got not a
they
single
have
song.
a hit, which is a woman's name.
Roxanne was actually the police.
No.
That chick's phone number, that was somebody else.
No. They have a hit, which I'm sure later on we can...
April Neil Thatcher, something completely
we can
different.
Chiron right here, and that's the only other song I know of.
The most important thing I believe that's happened this week.
I'm going to shout it out sometime this half hour. I'm going to shout. I'm gonna shout the
Sony
name of this
hack
name.
job.
Okay.
We've lost the interview. We have lost the ability to see James Franco and Seth Rogen assassinate the leader of unfree, communist-controlled North Korea. That right has been taken away from us, Mike. It has been stripped from our very hands. Sony, a Japanese-owned company, so I'm not really clear why everybody's getting all upset and saying this is an American thing, when Sony, last time I checked, produced Walkmans and had a lot of currency going.
Not
to
since
a little
1985, I'm
small
guessing, have
island.
they produced a Walkman, but yes, they are a majority of the corporation is owned in Japan. That's correct. Walkman,
Mike,
Walkman really not so much.
How do you feel about this horrible travesty of justice?
It's a no-win situation either way for Sony. I mean, let's say they release the movie as normal.
Yes.
And
for
whatever reason, somebody does get hurt.
Okay.
You know? Then does my buying the ticket and knowing that something bad might happen, does that mean I can't sue Sony or the theater?
No, you have
for
to sue
releasing?
the theater.
See, I'm sure that, and that's why some of the theaters started to drop out.
Almost all the
And then-
major guys with real lawyers.
Yeah. So, will it really affect Sony in the long run? No.
40 million plus.
40 million?
Plus.
40 million?
What happens the next time?
Well, yeah, I completely agree with you there. It's a horrible precedent to
I
set.
mean, this is a crappy movie.
It was a no-win
It was
situation.
a bad comedy that I was probably going to go see.
I was gonna see it.
And I'm not I haven't seen Pineapple Express.
I haven't either.
I don't jump on the Seth Rogen, Franco bandwagon. But this movie, I saw enough previews for it.
Mm-hmm.
The advertising guys, they did their job. They got me to go, okay, I'll go see this pile of crap.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe on Christmas Day, I don't know. But now I can't.
Right.
And why?
Americans don't like things being taken from them.
No, we don't.
We don't like
No,
being told no.
We don't like our movies being taken away from
no.
us. We don't like our baseball stadiums being taken away from us. We don't like our streets being, made littler. We don't like that, damn it. And do you know why we don't like that?
This is America.
It's America.
But
I don't like apple pie. I like German chocolate cake. But regardless of that, I don't know that the Germans actually created German chocolate cake.
I don't know either.
I don't think the French made French toast.
Rosanna. All I want to do in the middle of the night is see her, Rosanna. That's them too. Thank you. Thank you.
That was a throwback to our Toto reference.
I said,
earlier.
while you were talking,
The
I
world tour.
said, sometime during this half hour, it's going to come to me, and I'm going to shout it out.
I needed to, you know,
They understand.
tell them. So, yes, we've been stripped, and there's been some outcry, but the outcry has been from celebrities and whatnot who have no skin in the game.
Right.
Now, on top of this, though, at what point is it? Nobody got behind Sony. Let's be clear about this. This is the one thing where they got hacked. They said horrible, horrible things. If you hack my email, please don't. I say horrible, horrible things. Why? Because it is my private correspondence, and nobody has a right to read it but me.
Right.
Sony has the right to say whatever horrible, god-awful thing they want to say in private, personal correspondence. And when you leak that out there, yes, they said horrible things about Angelina Jolie. They made some horrible, god-awful, joke about President Barack Obama. I don't know that it was any worse than anybody else has ever made, seeing he's been on, he's the president. I'm sorry you took the job. Saturday Night Live gets to eat you alive for 4 years unless you get impeached.
Sure.
So nobody, though, was like, this is wrong. Nobody. Now, they're all mad that the movie's not coming out. But you should have got on this bandwagon if you were going to be morally outraged when all of a sudden all these little dirty secrets that you thought were juicy and gossipy got out. You're like, ooh, let's talk about that. But not the fact that this company got screwed.
America also doesn't like big corporations.
That's true.
Okay, we want to go to Walmart and buy everything we can, but we don't like Walmart. We want to go there. We'll spend all our money there. I go to Walmart at least 4 times a week.
It's sad. But
I don't like their corporate practices. I don't like the fact that they don't pay a living wage to their employees. But so it's a not even a catch-22. It's a complete double standard. I don't like the big things that go on in big corporations that make me have to do this. But I really want to go see that movie. I really want to go over and get that 99-cent candy to take it into the movie theater, because I know I get it at Walmart and so much cheaper. So that's who we are. That's who America is. Sorry, America.
Now, on to something else.
All right.
Netflix, the guy who's behind that, president of Netflix, and it's on my notes, but unfortunately I don't have his name, finally came out and said, listen, your ability to download it and watch it later through our system ain't ever going to happen.
What do you mean?
Stop it. A lot of people have faulty Wi-Fi or slow lagging internet or live in areas where streaming is what Netflix does, gets interrupted a lot. Now we're lucky, we live in an area that has very stable internet. But even I have seen on occasion my Netflix stutter, I'll say.
Once in a while.
It stumbles a little bit and comes up and blah, blah, blah.
Sure.
But there's other areas of the country where it's happening all the time. Well, they wanted Netflix to invent something or just allow them to download the episodes one at a time or something, so then they could watch it clean.
I see.
Without having anything. And he's like, ain't gonna happen. No. Never, ever gonna happen. Knock it off. Quit asking. We're not gonna do it. It's not gonna make us enough money, and not enough people are complaining and griping about this to make it a reality.
Right. Vudu does something like that, but it's pay-per-view.
Yes. You've paid for it up front for each individual little bite, every little morsel. It's like an all-you-can-eat buffet where I got to pay for each piece of popcorn shrimp.
But even then, I
like my popcorn shrimp.
I don't believe you download it. I believe you still stream it. You're just paying for the ability to stream it when it comes on.
Gotcha.
Like I know people that don't have cable, so on Vudu they get Walking Dead. They get a season pass for Walking Dead.
Yeah.
It's like $40, something like that, however much it is. But so when they watch it, they don't download it and then watch it anytime they want.
It's going to stream all the time.
It still has a stream.
It's living in the cloud.
They can still watch anytime they want, but exactly, it's in the cloud and nobody knows what that is anyway.
Galactus. He's the cloud.
It is, that's sad.
Other things coming on. DC Comics, one of the biggest comic producers in North America and the United States of America.
I don't think you have to tell people who DC Comics is, but go ahead.
It's not so the biggest over in Asia, but they've just announced they're canceling 13 of their 52 titles.
Right.
That's a significant number.
It is, but I looked at the list, and I'm not a current reader of many DC Comics, but I only recognize like 3 of those titles anyway.
Oh, really? Well, now obviously, I order them and touch them every day practically, but all of these were poor sellers. There's no doubt about it. But my thinking here is not the fact that they canceled them. The fact is you have 52 books, and 13 of them were all poor sellers. Right. And that's not all of them.
Have they maintained the number 52 since the launch of 52?
I believe absolutely they have.
So they've 3 in, 3 out, 3 in, 3 out the whole time.
I don't think that's going to happen this time. I think we're finally going to, but who knows? Because these cancellations are taking place after the April-May, what's it called? Huge, what's that? Convergence.
Oh, that's the crossover?
That's the super huge. They're putting all their books on hiatus for 2 months, and they'll have one-shots and limited series, 2-issue limited series for these 2 months, which will deal with their continuity throughout all the different universes. So lots of hearsay about whether it's going to play into the old continuity, which older fans like myself miss. A lot of our characters got recreated, and there's been some bad blood about that. Plus, we're far enough along now that I think people have kind of a little jaded towards the new 52. It's going on year 5 or so right about now. So it's been around long enough now that it's not the new thing. And as we see, sales are just plummeting on all these different titles. So maybe it's time to shake things up. So
maybe they ought to cut it down to like 30 and have 30 really good books instead of 52 mediocre books.
I don't disagree with you at all. Also, in the world of comic books,
let's hear it.
Spider-Woman gets a brand new costume.
I don't like it.
And not only does she get a brand new costume that you don't like, it doesn't even premiere in a comic book. It premiered on a video game platform before. Wow.
But it is going to show up in a comic?
Yes, in March, April, the second storyline that they're doing, she will appear in this new...
Do you think it had anything to do with the Batgirl costume, you think?
I don't know that it did, but man, don't they kind of look similar?
They do.
I
don't like it at all. I like the Batgirl one, but I don't like it at all. I don't like Spider-Man.
There's one of those things where I'm sure that we're going to hear, just like Batgirl, this is being done for cosplayers. This is a much easier cosplay. Well, Spider-Woman's a pretty damn easy cosplay.
Yeah.
It's a red suit, and... if you can't do that one, I don't know what to tell you. But so got a brand new thing going on there, so it's kind of interesting, a little different. But yeah, the look of it's like sunglasses. She's very sexy. The Spider-Woman outfit, if you haven't seen it, is just like it's just like a jumpsuit or like a spandex suit, just a body stocking.
And here's the new one, right in this area here. Here's the new one.
But she has always been incredibly sexy in just that body sock kind of spandex thing. This new thing, whereas I'm sure it's much more realistic and can be produced in the real world, isn't nearly as sexy.
Right.
So they're desexifying her. They are taking away her alluring powers of sexiness.
I can't wait till they bring sexy back.
I would only hope that Marvel would get off their butts and do that soon enough. Red Sonja is having to, shoulder all this burden by herself.
Sure, poor Red Sonja.
So sad. Yeah. Sad. So, Mike,
yes,
I heard that a movie opened up that didn't get stopped by crazy hackers or weird things.
No, got stopped by Sony. But go ahead with your say.
What?
Their choice.
What did you see this week, Mike?
I didn't see anything this week. Wait a minute! I did see a movie this week. I saw 3 movies this week.
What'd you see, Mike?
Well, as you know, because you were sitting 2 people over from me, thank goodness your lovely wife was between us, we went to see The Hobbit.
2, it would have just been 1. It was her between us.
2 seats over.
Not 2 people.
Is this what you're arguing about?
Let's talk about the movie.
We went to see The Hobbit Marathon down in Indianapolis, which it's
a George. Never
mind. Which was down in Indianapolis and it was great. It started at like 12:30 in the afternoon, and they ran all 3 movies. We were done by 9:30.
We were in the car by 9:30.
Okay, yeah. The last movie was not the Five Armies. The third movie was not as long as the others, which we didn't know going in. I just kind of assumed that it was going to be another 3-hour deal.
3-hour epic.
It was 2 hours and 10 minutes ish, somewhere in that area. So not as long, but all fight, all battle.
Man,
it was a really a big payoff for what would have been like a 8-9 hour story.
Here it comes.
Yeah, so
it just kept going over and over.
Really, my favorite of those 3 anyway. I'll say just like Return of the King was my favorite of the other trilogy. I really had a good time with it. They even brought back Christopher Lee. That was awesome.
Not only did they bring Christopher Lee back, but I mean, he lays some whoop ass down in his fight scene. He is now, of course.
And that's not him.
Yeah, I was going to say, they make sure you see it all from the white wig in the back.
Right.
But he is he's got his staff,
character.
And he's just whooping.
Right.
Him and Hugo, the Matrix and, the classic himself are just laying down the law on some undead
that was a great
9
scene.
human kings or something like that.
It was good. There was just enough. Seeding of information to go into the next trilogy, but they didn't. It wasn't too heavy-handed. The only thing I didn't like, and I think I might have mentioned this to you, and this isn't a spoiler in any way, but at the very end, because Orlando Bloom is Legolas.
Yes.
He's in the book anyway. In the Hobbit book, he's not in that. Is that correct?
I don't believe he has any place in that book.
But they put him in the movies in order to have some continuity with the
that
other
whole
trilogy.
thing with him and the other female elf and the
Right.
love story.
Yeah.
None of that, unless it's in some really tiny thing that he wrote in a note somewhere.
Right.
Which they used a lot of that stuff, but none of that's in the book that I read.
Maybe somebody watching this, both of you can find out the answer and let me know. But this is supposed to take place, and it tells you on the screen 60 years previous to Return of the King, or before Lord of the Rings, the trilogy. But at the very end of it, Legolas is talking to his father. They're both elves, so they both have very long lives. He says,
They're immortal.
oh, okay. He says that you should go look up this ranger. They call him Strider, and then sends him on his way. But if it's 60 years before, Strider in the movies is maybe, I'm going to guess 40 tops. He is older, but he would have had to been, 10, 20 years from even being born then at that point.
Well, I believe that Aragorn's a half elf.
Is he?
I'm pretty sure he is. Yeah,
He is? Okay, I didn't know that.
His uncle definitely is, because his uncle is actually known as blah 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 the half elf.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So now maybe he's a quarter elf or.
Enough to get casino money, you think? Okay. All right. Well, I didn't know that. Never mind then.
So yeah, he's got a longer lifespan.
Okay.
But he's not immortal like the other.
I knew he wasn't immortal, but I didn't know that he was half elf.
It was an enjoyable movie. One, if you get a chance and you've got the patience to go to a marathon, I highly recommend it.
Sure.
We've been to several.
Mm-hmm.
We actually go out of our way, take the days off, get the time set up to go see these things.
Mm-hmm.
And we've seen Thor, we've seen Cap, I saw Indiana Jones, we've seen Batman,
Mm-hmm.
we saw this Hobbit thing. They're really fun. You're going into a group of people who are all buying in with you.
Right.
There is not going to be any naysayer. This is a $30 ticket
Right.
to see these three movies.
Right.
So you're not going to get some guy that's like, what am I going to see? I'll just give me a ticket to that. No. You're going into a crowd that wants just as much as you. We were probably the most laid back people. There were people cheering.
There was applause,
and
cheering,
hollering.
even in the first two movies that we'd already seen.
Oh yeah, they were the fans were having a good time.
Having a good time. And it was
you get like a poster.
It was packed.
We had a cool little lanyard.
I was
This one
sitting next
wasn't
to people.
as
I don't like
cool.
sitting next to people.
Yeah, there was only like one empty seat I think in our entire row. It was between me and the person next to me, and that's because me and her had agreed that was our trash seat. So all of our crap was going into this.
You
chair.
do kind of live there for 12 hours.
Oh
or so.
yeah, you're moving in.
You get the big popcorn, get the big Coke, and
you just refill all day long.
And then I'm constantly reaching into the candy that I brought, on the down low, and then we got food. They took food orders in between movies, so it was ready to go when you got out there. And
That particular one also had a live bar, an open bar,
Right.
that you could take into the theater. It didn't have to stay in the bar. So there's guys drinking beers and getting their Hobbit on. So it was a good time, really enjoyable. If you like the first two, you're going to love the conclusion, I believe.
Yeah.
It's really well done. It looks good. It doesn't have the multiple endings that I talked about. The other one felt like it just ended and ended and ended. This one, it just ends. It's done. And it's got a fun little ending. We didn't stay till after the credits. I don't think there's anything there.
I looked it up while we were sitting there. There's nothing.
Jackson has come out and said he is willing to do more Tolkien material. However, the Tolkien estate is not willing to let him have any more material.
Isn't it just like one more?
Oh, I mean, I guess there's like cliff note. There's like little jotted notes that he can make movies for the rest of his life, and they'd all make a fortune, I'm sure. But so there you go. If you like the Hobbit stuff, that was really well done.
And this just came out yesterday. Actually, there were some threats from the Goblins not to release this movie.
Really?
And
Because they look bad.
And they were not made to look good in this movie.
No,
they were like there were 5 armies. They were like the 5th army that came in, and really, when you say army, there was like 30 of them. It wasn't really a lot, and so they weren't happy about it. But kudos to New Line for go ahead and sticking to their guns.
They had the one ring. So
They did.
that was my only complaint about that was when you go to these things, they all have a cool lanyard.
Right.
Like your pass is some cool thing. Like Captain America was the shield.
Right.
Batman had kind of a Batman outline to it. Yeah. The Indiana Jones one had the actual idol.
That's cool.
So in this one, it was just like a cool picture.
Right.
Why would you not do the ring?
I don't know.
I don't know. The one ring might be something we want to. No, we'll just do a picture. Like you guys, you cheesy vids. Hey, look what I got.
What's that?
Well, that's
a loot crate.
Is December's loot crate, which you'll notice is steel sealed right there.
I got a knife.
I do too.
Oh, go ahead.
It's right here. So,
For those of you who don't know what Loot Crate is, basically you pay a monthly fee, and this is $15, $19, I can't remember
something
exactly.
like that. I did 6 months, so the more you buy, the better discount you get.
And you get this box. You have no idea what's in this box until it arrives. You get it
Sure.
once a month, about now. I'm assuming you got this today or yesterday.
Came in today.
Okay, so
Like
it
3
is
minutes
full
before
of,
I got here.
It is full of geeky, nerdy stuff. Could be T-shirts, could be comics, could be little tchotchkes. It's hard to say. And this month, what do we got? I don't know what that means.
We have an exclusive Loot Crate pop
Oh, that's nice.
of a Jokerized Batman.
Wow.
So it's Batman, but you'll notice his colors are real weird because he has been Jokerized.
wonder if
And
they're
he
all
even
the-
says
I wonder if they're all the same.
right on here, Loot Crate exclusive.
Right, they do a lot of exclusives. They did a Walking Dead comic that was exclusive cover.
So that'll probably either go in the store for like 10, 20 bucks or be a gift to somebody because it's cool, but I don't really collect those.
Right. What's that? A pair of socks?
No. These are Baby Groot socks,
They are.
which say, "I am Groot,"
They do.
with little baby Groot in his pot.
That's nice.
So that'll be my wife. I'll be going to my wife for Christmas.
Oh, luckily, she doesn't watch the show,
No,
so
she-
nobody will be spoiled.
It's a candy cane,
A broken candy
which is
cane.
broken,
Right.
so it goes with every other candy cane I think
Right.
that's ever been done.
Nice, nice.
They're always broke, so I can just like
Right.
live here on the table. I
That's-
think. And
I get you $19 out of that.
there's a sticker set of Tetris.
Oh,
So you have 147 stickers
nice.
that you can make a thing with. I don't know anybody that likes Tetris, so I don't know what I'm gonna do with that.
Give that to Nick Gray.
Maybe that might be bad.
He
Oh,
also doesn't watch the show.
a vanilla scented Captain America.
Nice.
So I have a customer. It's going straight in his folder.
Sure. $10.
They always give you a little book that tells you all about the Loot Crate and
the
stuff
things that are in there.
going
right.
on with it and what you get and all that. And this one looks like we have a talk with Stan, the man Lee of
nice.
Marvel Comics fame.
He rarely comes out in front of the camera.
A Simpsons foldable wallet.
Nice, with many characters.
So that is a lot of characters.
That
and I'm
is.
sure this is made of like that indestructible paper, that
Right.
Tyvek or
Yeah,
something.
Tyvek.
So that's kind of
Nice.
cool.
Sure, why not? There's more.
There's more. Ooh, there's a comic. You get Crunchyroll, which I'm going to say is it's an anime version of Netflix for just anime and
okay.
Asian television. Enjoy a special 30-day free trial.
Nice.
Now, I've already had Crunchyroll once before in a free trial, so I wonder if it'll let me do that again. You've got a Ghostbusters warning: ghost busting in progress privacy sign.
That's Slimer.
It is. Come on in, you ugly little spud.
So that's okay to come on
So-
in, but on this side,
That's what she said to Mike.
warning. On this side,
You get. I think there's always a button.
of course.
So this is the Loot Crate anniversary button, which is really boring.
Nice.
And there is an exclusive Batman comic.
Wow.
So, yeah.
That'll be exclusive just to Loot Crate. You won't get that cover anywhere else besides Loot Crate.
right here.
All right.
So that is what you're going to get in this Loot Crate. A lot of Batman stuff. Some other funky, fun little
I think
things.
we're gonna make this a regular segment.
All right, we can do that. We just got to make sure we get them. They come at all different times, so you never know for sure when you're going to get them.
Right. I think you have till the. I thought you had till the 19th to maybe it's the 14th. There's a cutoff date every month for getting your junk. Anyway, that's cool.
So that's kind of fun. So that's something you order. It's they also and now they do different versions, not just these guys.
Yeah, there's one for pets.
There's one called Bark,
Right.
a Bark box, which is for your dogs.
Right.
There's a couple other mystery ones where you get just stuff, but I think this is the biggest one. Plus, there's a small chance like 1 or 2 people every month get a mega crate,
Right.
which has got like $1,000 worth of
Right.
crazy stuff, and it's just random. You know, it's like winning the lottery.
Right.
So kind of fun, interesting, weird, wild, wacky, crazy stuff.
It's cool.
So tell us about Marco Polo.
Marco Polo?
The water sport.
No, I don't know much about. Actually, you're thinking of water polo, which is a water sport. Marco Polo is a game you play in the pool. Then there's Marco Polo on Netflix that debuted last week.
And you watched all of those.
I did. I tore through them one day at work, and
Now, do you believe that Marco Polo actually exists? Is he a historical figure? Do you buy it?
I don't know. I don't know nothing about it. So
All right. Well, there's some trains of thought. There's people historians that don't believe that
Oh, really?
Marco Polo was ever actually a real person.
I see.
But there's also people that still believe the world is flat.
Right.
So tell us, though, about Netflix exclusive new miniseries, Marco Polo.
Here's a sentence you'll never hear is the runaway hit Marco Polo, okay? Because it was not very good. The production value was fantastic. They used the character Marco Polo to kind of walk you through this big. It's really more about Kublai Khan.
Kublai Khan.
And his, at one point the Mongols had all of China except. Now, if this is historical, I have no idea. But apparently, there's one holdout city that was a walled city in China that they let go for several years and couldn't ever get in, couldn't ever breach the wall, couldn't take.
What was the name of that city, Mike?
Oh man, I don't know.
You watched
Yeah, but it was a Chinese name, and I'm not very good with that kind of
okay.
thing. So
Now, I had heard that Kublai Khan and the Mongols had protested Marco Polo coming out because they weren't shown in a very good light.
that's correct.
And that they were going to invade
Not happy.
North America
Yeah.
on horses.
Well, just AMCs.
From Asia.
Just AMCs. They were only going out
Just
AMCs.
AMCs?
Yeah.
All
Which
right.
is weird because that's not in the movie theater. It's in your home on Netflix. But regardless, no, it was just okay. It was it had good moments, but over a 10-hour span, it's tough to hang your hat on just 2 or 3 really good moments. It was very political, obviously with the different countries and the different factions and everything. But overall, you could probably miss it unless you're just really jonesing for some maybe historical something to view. So it was okay. I give it a 4 out of 10.
4 out of 10.
Yeah. But at that point, like 3 or 4 hours into it, when I started to kind of like it a little bit, I was like, now I just have to push through it just so I can watch the entire thing to see. What
Now,
happens.
the way it ends, because I have not watched it yet. I've been
Right.
a little busy.
Okay.
Is there room for Marco Polo season 2?
I don't think so.
All right.
I don't think so. He's not dead.
Okay. Spoiler.
But nobody's gonna watch this show. I'm sorry. He's not dead, but it definitely has an ending to it.
All right.
So
I was able to read Anthony Horowitz's new book. At least I think that's his name. It's on
Tony?
my notes. And it was called Moriarty. It's a little Sherlock Holmes kind of thing. The idea is that after Reichenbach falls, Moriarty had a thing going on with an American criminal mastermind who was coming over to join forces, and we follow a Pinkerton detective and one of the lesser-known detectives from the Holmes novels, not Lestrade, different guy, who actually is in a couple of books. He's in The Sign of Four and things of that nature. And it is about their adventure trying to uncover this American criminal mastermind and bring him to justice right after the death of Sherlock Holmes, which in the book they allude to the fact that he's obviously not dead because
Right.
he comes back.
are you caught up on the BBC Sherlock?
No, not yet.
When you say not yet, it's like not like it happened this week. Last time I knew, you hadn't even watched the last episode of the 2nd season.
I watched it. It was the Reichenbach Falls.
Okay, so
kind
you
of
did
thing.
watch that one finally.
That one I'm caught up on. I haven't watched the next season after
Okay.
that where they bring him back, obviously. So I'll get to it eventually. I have been trying to think about finding a copy of Elementary season 1 so I could go back and try to watch that. I'm sure it's fun. The couple episodes I saw were okay. I didn't like the way they were handling the Watson character in it, but it's now at least into season 2 or 3 or something.
Probably
so.
3, I think.
So now I'm interested in going back, and I'm sure by now it's got enough legs to it.
You should at least watch the first whole season because I like the way they deal with Moriarty in
All
the
right.
show. It's very different.
Mike, now the holidays are coming up.
They certainly are.
Merry, happy, whatever the hell you believe in. So it turns out I'm a Christmas guy.
You are.
Not necessarily a Christian guy, but a Christmas guy in
Sure.
general.
Well, Christmas
I
isn't necessarily Christian,
I like
so go ahead.
Santa Claus and all that nonsense. So, Mike, what is it that you're hoping that you get for Christmas this year?
I don't really need or want anything. I don't have any.
That's not the point, Mike.
Oh.
What could make
I think as an adult, I've only asked for one Christmas present.
What was it?
And I got it. A subscription to Mental Floss magazine. I got that a couple years ago.
Do you still have it?
No, just that 1 year. I fell out of favor with the people who gave it to me.
All right. Very well. So, what?
I don't really.
Do you have any New Year's plans? Because down here in the city of Kokomo, we'll be having a ball drop right on the square done by the Techno Cats. Now, for those who are watching this that don't know who the Techno Cats are, which is nobody, because you all know if you're watching this who the hell they are, otherwise you wouldn't be watching this. They're a high school robotics team. They bring up a ball, and at midnight, if we're lucky and the robotic logistics go right, it will fall. If we're not lucky, then it gets hung up, and then we all pretended it fell, and we enjoy it, and it's fun.
Well.
So I don't ever attend because it's cold outside and there are people, and I don't like cold that much.
And you don't like people that much?
I don't like people that much.
Right.
And I don't like booze, and I don't like inebriated people. So this holiday is really not meant for me.
It isn't.
No.
It isn't. What do you want for Christmas?
You know, I hope to get a good book.
Oh, that's nice.
So we'll see.
You mean the good book?
No, I don't read that. I've read that one once. No. I've just every year I hope that somebody gets me just a good book.
That's awesome.
Something that whether they know it or not, I'm going to sit down and enjoy. Now, a couple of years ago, my good friend Adam Humbert got me a good candle. Now, I didn't know that there was such a thing because, well, I'm not into candles that much.
No, not anymore. You used to be.
So
You used to be a candle maker.
I have made a few candles in my time, but that was a craft thing, and you know me. I get sucked into it.
Yes, you do.
I love crafty type stuff.
You bought everything that took to make the most awesome candles, and you did it once, and then you were done.
But do you know why? Because like everything else. Because I made a perfect candle. Once I've mastered something, no point in sticking around.
Right.
On the next bus looking for the next thing to master, Mike. That's the way I think.
I know.
So, but Adam, he bought me this wonderful candle. Now, that has become my like smell of Christmas.
Oh.
Like whatever, and I couldn't even tell you what it is off the top of my head. Oh, all the time. I actually went, now he bought it for like 2 years ago. So now, like this year I went out and I bought 3 of these. These things are like $20 for a damn candle.
That's a lot.
It is expensive.
That's a lot.
But they only make it one time a year now. So if I want to have it for all of Christmas, which I want, I've got to buy like 3 of these things.
Wow.
So, but they make me happy.
Good.
So I'm all about that.
That's awesome.
All right. Well, I think that's your GeekStorm. You know about Sony hacks. You know about books. You know about Columbus not coming to America.
We didn't talk about Columbus in any way whatsoever. We talked about
loot crates and candles. That's all we got. So I hope you have an amazing holiday. Don't forget to check out Comics Cubed for all of your gift-giving needs this year. And whether you forgot the holiday or not, whether you believe in it or not, I still need your money to stay in business. So please come on down to Comics Cubed and pay me money. I'm Sean Hilton. This is Mike Harrison. And for our staff behind the cameras, Michael Dukes, April Thatcher, and the other guy, we thank you for watching GeekStorm this year. Be groovy.